This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead End Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth B. Inge. Joining me on the show in this box right here, we got Shelton J.
What's happening, man? How y'all doing today?
Chilling, bro. Down there in that corner, right there. That's BZ 430.
What up, though?
All right, we got FIFO 24/7.
What it do?
And your boy Nikki Duce.
Hey, what's goody? Hey, beat the Steelers. Hey, Bengals, we getting them this weekend. Hey, first loss of the season,
Oh,
man.
man, it ain't
Not gonna happen, bro.
Nah, not gonna happen at all. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us, and thank you guys that watched the league, which is now streaming live on Dead End Sports, which is the podcast where we talk about our Madden adventures with, of course, me, FIFO, Nikki Duce, and it's a league we're in with Spike Lou of the On Deck TV podcast and a bunch of his homies. And we just come on and just talk about our management skills. We talk about it a lot on the show. We criticize other people, but we criticize each other now. And you guys get to see what, how good of a GMs we are. But nevertheless, we got a new setup. There's still some kinks that we're working out. But nevertheless, I've been talking about it, man. Modest Media came up here to talk about it. And he helped set the thing up. And, here we are. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the show. Nick, what you got for us?
Well, let's talk about the game that everybody wants to, that was the primetime game for Sunday night, the Bucs versus the Saints. First question I got for y'all. Is Brady washed up?
Nah. I don't think he's washed up. I think bad game, literally the worst game of his entire career. And I think that, again, man, Brady has built up enough leeway to have these things in year, 18, 19, 20, something, you know what I'm saying? Like he's built up enough of that. And we've seen enough of good Tom Brady to be like, he's not washed, he old. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you're going to see more games like this. Maybe not this bad, but we're going to see where he looks a little older. But at the same time, let's be honest. They are a much better team than they were last year with Jameis. And a lot of that has to do with Tom Brady. They're still figuring stuff out. Like I said, there's some weeks that they look really good and they look like a true Super Bowl contender. And last Sunday, they look like, hey, the hell is y'all doing? Because y'all ain't competing for nothing. But at the end of the day, I don't think Tom Brady's washed. I think Tom Brady can still be a Super Bowl quarterback with a good roster around him. And that's essentially what he has in Tampa Bay. No offseason, no OTAs, none of that. So now they're adding AB on top of everything else that they got going on. So they'll figure it out. Also, the main thing is that you saw that, to me, this is more so on coaching than it was solely on Tom Brady. We know what Tom Brady is, and the game plan didn't try to establish anything, right? Like when you watched the Dolphins-Cardinals game. That's the game I really want to talk about because Tua will look good. I know we're going to get to it. But you saw what the Dolphins were able to do early on with Tua, right? Like just get him in a rhythm. So then when it's time for him to turn it on and be like, okay, we called this, but I'm going to just have to do what I got to do because I'm a baller, then you can do that because you're in a rhythm. What was Tampa Bay trying to do? All them deep shots, not off the gate. We can set that up, but right off the gate they were trying to do that. That's not how that team needs to come out to attack defenses. You know what I'm saying? We could set that up, but we ain't coming out here like that. They're not Kansas City.
What you think, Sheldon?
Man, come on, y'all put some respect on Tom Brady's name, man. He had a bad game. They're still in third place in the division. His offensive line was horrible, and like FIFO said, coaching was pretty bad. Plus, they were trying to work in AB, and he really just didn't have a lot of time. I think that was the most pressures Tom Brady has had in about 4 or 5. Well, I think it's a little longer. I can't remember how many years it's been, but they pressured him like crazy. So in saying that, he should have played better. I'm not saying he shouldn't have played better, but up until this point, he's looked pretty good. The team is what are they, 6-3?
No.
6-3. Yeah, 6-3.
Oh, they're 6-3? Okay.
So like I said, they team with a better record right now. Actually, there's a couple teams. I'm sorry, because I forgot about Seattle.
The Saints are 6-2.
So is Green Bay, and I forgot about them. But so they're fourth in the NFC. But that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Coming from where that team came from. So in saying that, I mean, he still got a little bit left in the tank, and I think that was just a bad game. We said the same thing, but not we. A couple of us said the same thing early on in the year about Drew Brees, and showed you what he's about. So, you know, put some respect on Tom Brady. He'll be back.
I'm about to say, Ken, I'm about to cuss. Go ahead.
Is Tom Brady done?
Is he washed?
Is he washed? That wasn't a good game, bro. And they really only technically have beaten bad teams. Haven't been good against good teams. I think they're 0-3 against good teams.
They only beat the Packers. That's it.
And yeah, only beat the Packers. I'll say it like this.
How you gonna say it, Ken?
I'll say it like this. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. The washing machine is filling up with water right now, and we ain't let the lid down. When the wintertime, well, they're in Miami, but either way, well, Tampa, so it don't really get cold like that. But we've seen Breeze struggle when he gets older, when the season goes on.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tom Brady. As the season goes on, he gets a little bit, he struggles as well. So he ain't washed, but right now he's soaking. The clothes are in the washing machine. They're soaking in the water.
He's washed. All right.
See,
he's
you
washed.
just wanted to say that.
Y'all said Shelton sounds just like them ESPN pundits and Skip Bayless. Y'all blaming everybody else but the man who threw 3 picks. If this was Jameis Winston, everybody ain't saying it's the offensive line. Ain't nobody saying it's the BA.
But
as far
Jameis
as
had
coaching.
off-season
Nah,
OTAs, and he had that coach.
That's fine, but you're the GOAT, so we don't give a damn about all that shit. The whole reason why we brought you here to the Bucs is because you're the fucking GOAT. You're supposed to clean up all that shit.
Nick, look.
No,
This is not basketball, though. This is not basketball.
You're right, it's football.
Football is 11 on 11, and it's choreographed. Like basketball, you can go on a whim. I can just do whatever I want to do, and if you can't stop me and I'm that great,
do you see Brady as a coach on the field?
Not yet.
So Tom Brady's not a coach on the field?
No. Hold on. In New England, yes. With this team, him and the head coach are not on the same page.
So what is he then on the field?
But the way that a player can be a head coach on the field is when you and your head coach are on the same damn page. So what you see is what he sees, and what he sees is what you see. You can't say that Tom Brady and Bruce Arians are seeing the same thing right now.
I disagree with that, because wherever Peyton Manning went to, he was a coach on the fucking field. He ain't listening to, what was his name?
He listened to Tony Dungy.
He listened to Tony Dungy, but he ain't listened to other motherfuckers in Denver. John Fox, come on. Bruh, Tom Brady's got 6 fucking titles, bro. 6 titles, and he got 3 points against the Saints? Are you kidding me?
Peyton Manning
with Gronk, with AB, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. How many damn weapons does he need to have? Everybody in New England talking about some he ain't had weapons, he can do something. He got all the weapons in Tampa Bay. What the fuck he doing? 3 points? Get the fuck out of here. Tom Brady's washed up. He throwing ducks like this fucking dynasty, nigga.
Let me ask you this, Nick. Are the Patriots wow.
Look at you. That's the only time he's been good is back then, right? He ain't doing shit with the Bucs.
Are the Bucs still in contention to win the division, yes or no?
No.
Okay.
They're not. They literally have to win. They literally have to win out.
Yeah.
They lost to the Saints twice. So the Saints have to lose twice, and the Bucs have to win out for them to get the division.
Okay, fine.
That's not happening.
Even if they don't get the division, are they still in the running for
a
wild card game?
Yes.
And let me ask you this. Do you want to play against a Tom Brady team in the playoffs? In the wild card?
This Tom Brady team, yes.
Okay. Look,
because like Ken said,
we're
going
to
beat up the shitty teams, but the playoffs is good teams.
But look, all I know is this, is that the team that we see week 9 is not the same team we're going to see the wild card game. You
keep moving back the weeks. You keep on saying the team that we see in week 3 ain't gonna be the team that we see in week 9. The team we see, bro, week 9, we're more than halfway through the season. And you are what you are, right?
And they've gotten better, but this season is
an
anomaly.
Where they gotten better at?
All I'm saying, Nick, is that this season is an anomaly. That's all I'm saying. So the regular measures that we look at teams by and be like, oh, they should be ready by this time, they should be peaking. It's going to be different for different teams. This is a brand new team, bro.
When do we give excuses for that? Is this not football? Everybody playing under the same rules?
But
everybody got the same shit?
Under regular circumstances, right?
No one's under regular circumstances.
No. But here's the thing. You have teams that already have continuity. So you didn't see no drop off. Kansas City is the same. They literally re-signed everybody. Who they lose? They barely lost anybody. So coming into the season, there should not be a drop off. Of course, they're not going to be perfect because of no offseason, no OTs, none of that. But where they're starting is at a higher point than the majority of the rest of the teams. Baltimore, highly disappointing. Why? Basically the same team.
How are they highly disappointing? They're 6-2 as well.
They're disappointing
with the MVP.
They're disappointing because they looked very pathetic against Kansas City.
That's anybody.
And they lost that game to the Steelers.
And they're undefeated.
Lamar looked bad.
So their 2 losses are against the defending Super Bowl champs and an undefeated team that's right now.
But with a team that already has that continuity with the MVP, those are games you should win. There's no reason why Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens had almost 250 yards rushing. They possessed the ball 7 more minutes, almost 8 more minutes than the Steelers, and you lose that game. Why is that? That was on the quarterback. Bad quarterback play.
And I agree with you on quarterback play because when you don't know if it's 3rd down or 4th down, that costs you a fucking game. All right? And when you throw picks 3 times to when your defense, that front 7 is solid. That secondary is horrible with Tampa Bay. So throwing 3 interceptions, especially that one to Gronk, where he was just coming out like he was patty throwing across the body, get the fuck out of here. You know Tom Brady can't throw past 30 yards at this point in his career.
I will say this. You're right. If that was Jameis, they'd be dogging this man right now. Oh, we wouldn't hit the end of it. But I will also
there's no leeway there. He hadn't earned nothing.
Okay, and Bruce Arians, he had Brady ain't earned shit either because he talking all kind of shit.
He's keeping him accountable. He's the only motherfucker keeping him accountable.
So I will say for that I respect BA because he was talking shit about Jameis, and it don't matter I guess who in that system. Mm-hmm. He gonna let him have it.
The only one he ain't never talked shit about was Andrew Luck.
True, this is true, but. What? He said, well, he wasn't the head coach though. He was
for a little while. Remember when Chuck Pagano?
Yeah, but you can't talk shit if you just a substitute teacher.
That's true. And it's Andrew Luck too. But I'm not here to give Tom Brady excuses. I'm sorry. They came into this game knowing they had to win in order to be in competitive for the division. They lost. It wasn't even like a good loss. Like, they don't have to burn the film on this shit.
So let me ask you this, though, Nick. I need a little bit of clarification. Is there a difference between leeway and excuses?
No, it's excuses and there's winning. You feel me? Like, I don't want to hear why you did not win. Because if you knew why you did not win, you should have won the game.
But let me ask this, though. Like, does your resume over the course of almost 2 decades, does that not give you a little bit of room to not be as great because you've been great for so long?
What does that do for him this season? Did that resume help him win on Sunday?
No, but that resume is for the postseason, and as long as they get there, they're dangerous. Go ahead, Shelton.
Let me ask you a quick question on Nick. What do you think that even the people who were excited about this move, what do you think they would expect this team to be record-wise at this point?
They thought it was going to be Patriots time too. And I think they were thinking that they're probably going to win between 12 to 14 games. At least, especially with all those weapons. Because it's just like, you take Jameis out, who's a turnover QB, high risk, high reward, and you put Tom Brady, who's the quote-unquote GOAT, who is a beautiful in the past as far as mastering, like, not making stupid plays, being able to be a coach on the field, all that other shit. He has not really displayed that in the games that really matter. He could beat the Giants, which he barely did. He can beat, let me look at the record. He can beat some of these other ragamuffin-ass teams, but when you face the Bears, who have a legit playoff defense, when you face the Saints twice, who have pressure, Tom Brady's showing you why they don't draft quarterbacks like him anymore these days. Because they're a fucking statue.
But quarterbacks aren't made like this anymore. It's not that they don't draft them.
No.
They're just not made like this anymore.
No, there's QBs still out there.
Who?
There's QBs still out there right now who play just like Tom Brady. You know what? They ain't getting the first scholarship, are they? Nope. It's going to motherfuckers who's like Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence.
It's a different
because
league.
You got to move.
It's a different league now.
Based on what you said, it's still possible to win 12 games. They're playing.
They have to swing.
At least 6. They have the ability to go 6-1 these last 7 games.
They do not. Do you know their schedule? Do you know their schedule? Why are you saying that?
Yeah, looking at the schedule, the only thing they really,
Of
course, the only other tough team they got to play is the Chiefs.
No, they got the Rams too. The Rams are not
the Rams
they're beatable though.
I was gonna say that, but the Rams.
Every team is beatable.
Look at everybody else. You got Panthers, Rams, Chiefs, the Vikings, the Falcons, the Lions, and the Falcons again. So you really got a winnable schedule if you play
Shelton, where
right where they want to be.
In the Bucs defense, where is their biggest weakness?
I would say at corner.
Okay, so secondary, right? You talking about facing the Atlanta Falcons, who have some
trash.
They still throw up points. Do they not still throw up points?
They're trash.
Do they not still throw up points?
But they lose games.
Okay, but do they throw up points?
But look.
And are they not on a 3-game win streak? With the new coach. With the new coach.
Come on, man. You over here.
You
blowing smoke up the damn Falcons
ass.
But you want to give Tom Brady all this flack.
What do I always say? You got to.
Tom Brady got more wins than the Falcons got wins this season.
Okay, how many rings do we got this year?
Throw the Falcons out there, bro.
How many rings he got this year?
Don't even talk about no damn Falcons.
How many rings he got this year?
Don't throw about no Falcons.
So everybody on the same playing field. I'm talking about as far as the secondary, that shit is going to get exposed. It's been exposed. That shit is trash. And you're talking about high-power offense like the Rams, like the Chiefs, like the Falcons. That's going to be big for them. And Carolina got some. Doesn't Carolina have 2 of the top 10 receivers in the league right now?
Yes, they do. They have the best duo receiver combination in the league.
With continuity. It looked like it. More than Tom Brady is when he's throwing up picks to AB. He don't even know what route he's running. Come on, bro. This nigga done.
Wait a minute. I don't think Tampa's defense is that their DBs are that bad.
Their DBs are horrible, bro. Their DBs can't cover double moves at all. Sterling Shepard down there got if Danny Dimes throws one more touchdown and all the ones he missed, that game is over. We're talking about the Bucs on a 2-game lose streak.
Because they shut down Green Bay.
That's the only thing they got. And as you can see, Green Bay, if you up 3 points, they ain't coming back to win.
BZ, how you feel? Is Tom Brady washed, B?
I think Nick over-exaggerated a little bit over one game. I think I agree with Ken. I think if this was Jameis Winston or another black quarterback having a bad game, people would be ready to write him off. The fact that the Bucs only ran the ball 5 times, only rushed for 8 yards, that goes to the point I think Shelton said, coaching. You got bad coaching going on. You can't only rush the ball 5 times and expect, for defenses to assume that you're being one-dimensional. So you got to mix it up some. So that's on the coaching staff right there. But just off this game, when it comes to football stuff, man, any given every week is a different week, man. So I'm not going to place a whole career for somebody being a wash off of that one game. Now, if Brady goes, how many games they got left? 8, 9 more games?
7.
7. So if Brady plays like this, maybe 4 out of these 7 games, and the Bucs don't make the playoffs or something like that, then okay, we can have a discussion about Brady being washed up. I can finally sit here and be like, okay, yeah, Brady's done. Brady's stop playing. But you never know. We've seen how funny NFL season be. We can see if someone have 2 or 3 bad games, and then going into December, into the playoffs, they looking like all world. And it's like, okay, where was that talk y'all was saying back in, September, October, and November about this person being such and such. And now we coming in this part of the season. Now he looking like, now he's clocked in. He's locked in now. So I'm not going to jump the fence off of one game. Yes, Brady did. I saw the highlights. Brady did look horrible. He looked bad. Those interceptions, you can't even blame that on bad route like that. There was some bad throws by Brady. So, like I said, if he does that a few more times and it leads to the Bucs not making the playoffs or the Bucs having a worse season than what we would anticipated, then I can sit back and say, okay, I think Brady needs to hang it up. He tried to make a run with Tampa, trying to prove that he can do this without the Patriots, but we can say he's probably washed up. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not gonna throw all that just off of just one game.
Hey, Bruce Arians said Mike Evans was open all day
All
long.
day long. Boy.
Oh, man.
Man, but I say we still got to give credit to where credit's due, right? The Saints. Boy, I'm glad that was the only pick that I got right this past week. The Saints got it done. Are we underestimating the Saints?
No, because here's the thing. The Saints are going to be competitive because their overall roster is one of the best in the league. But their Achilles heel is their older quarterback. And it's only because of physicality. It's not the mental aspect. It's not anything else outside of trying to attack defenses downfield 25, 30-plus yards. Virtually non-existent, for this offense. And I think that in today's NFL, you gotta be able to put up 25+ if you're really truly trying to compete for a Super Bowl. And I think even though they do put up the points, I think that if they get into a shootout, with any one of the very high-powered offenses that are in the league, I don't see how they keep pace. And I think that's the only reason why I'm not that high on them. Now, I definitely think that they can make the playoffs. I definitely think they can win a game, maybe two, depending on their seeding. But I don't have them as favorites. But they're definitely Super Bowl contenders, but they're definitely not favorites.
The only reason I'm not high on them, and then we can get off this, but the only reason I'm not high on them is the fact that they need to pick a lead back and kind of, run with it. I think that they're trying to do too much. They're trying to everybody touches, trying to keep everybody happy instead of using what worked. You got three running backs who have all been lead backs in their life. You'll start with Ronald Jones. If you go in Leonard Fournette, you got LaShawn McCoy over there, but you're not getting a chance to get in rhythm. And those guys aren't used to sharing carries like that. So it's hard to get in a rhythm as a running back. It's also hard to get in a rhythm as a receiver when you got so many people out there. But it just takes some time to get together and figure it out. But if you look back a couple weeks ago, everybody was saying that this team was headed straight for the Super Bowl. So I don't think they're headed straight for the Super Bowl, but I don't think they're in the trash either.
So Shelton, that's how you feel about the Saints or the Bucs? You feel like that about I say you feel like that about the Saints or the Bucs?
The Bucs. I'm sorry, man. My audio is horrible. Right?
No, you good. How you feel about the Saints?
How you feel about the Saints?
Yeah, it's hard hearing y'all for some reason. I can hear Shelton just fine, but it's something about y'all. It sounds horrible when y'all talk.
Okay, we'll work on it.
I can't even hear you. I saw Ken's mouth moving. I ain't nothing.
All right, what you got, dude?
You mentioned Tua in the Arizona game. I was gonna ask you specifically because you're a Miami boy, or some of the people be calling you out about that. You ain't a real Dolphins fan, but can you see Tua leading the Dolphins to the playoffs?
Motherfucking right. You hell yeah. Look here. So here's the thing.
Can y'all hear me better?
We always can hear y'all fine. Is y'all hearing us? We can hear y'all.
Ooh man.
Yeah.
I can hear Shelton great. I hear Shelton just fine.
Yeah, I hear you fine too, B. But every time they talk, I hear static.
Me too.
Probably
they was talking some bull earlier.
Probably. That's what it was. That was.
Static.
They was on that BS, man. They was on that BS.
What about now? Static still?
Okay, you sound good, Ken. I want FIFO and Nick to talk.
Yo. Can you hear me?
Okay, I don't hear static no more, so that's good.
Okay. You can hear us?
What about Nick?
You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right, no more static. I don't hear no static.
I was asking about the Miami Dolphins Cardinals game. I was saying, like, I was talking to FIFO as far as, like, can he see Tua take the team to the playoffs?
So for me, y'all could call me out because I never claimed to be a Dolphin fan. Outside of the Bulls, that's the only team I claim, and I don't really claim that like that. Just because I'm a fan of players. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of being infatuated with organizations, I love players and what they bring and the diversity that they bring. But in terms of Tua, so this is my theory, man, with great players. Great players look the same regardless of the level of competition. So it doesn't matter in high school, Tua looked like this. In college, Tua looked like this. In the NFL, the first game, he was coming off a hip injury. You played against Aaron Donald. Your first play, he smashed the hell out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just never got into a rhythm. And like I was speaking on earlier, Chan Gailey did a good job of just getting the ball out of Tua's hand. Let's get it out. Let's get it out. So you can naturally get in the rhythm. So when you get to that point where, we saw him use escapability often in that game. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't set him up early on in that game, he wouldn't have been comfortable making those plays down the stretch. So I think that it just gives more credence to that coaching staff, and Brian Flores and the culture that they've been able to build. That defense is really stout. The offense obviously is coming along. The O-line is weak. However, you saw that Tua and Kyler Murray, both of those guys, look like Russell Wilson version 2.0 and 3.0. Super mobile, super intelligent, can use their legs, but would rather throw the ball, can throw with anticipation, reading the field. So everything that we thought Tua was going to be pre-injury, we saw. So now it's just a matter of him being consistent, doing it week after week, getting better. So with that being said, yes. And if you look at, I forgot who said this, but it makes perfect sense. When you have a defensive head coach with a good defense, and you give him a quarterback, oftentimes they win. Ben Roethlisberger when he got in for Tommy Maddox, great defense, good quarterback, went to the playoffs. You look at Russell Wilson, great defense, defensive head coach, great quarterback, playoffs. So the Dolphins, and I was saying this last year before they even drafted Tua, that they are building something that is special there because they built it from the ground up. And then the GM was smart and had the foresight. Let's get rid of two of our better players to bring more players in here because we are in a rebuild. Yeah, we got the Xavier Howards. Yeah, we had Minka, but we traded him. Yeah, we had Larry Tunsil, we traded him. So you're seeing the combination of all of that, in addition to having 2 first-round picks this draft. So the Dolphins are building the way you are supposed to be built. And once Tua gets to that point of understanding who he is and what he can and can't do in this league, it's going to be scary. Because, like I said last week, everybody was up in arms. Is this an audition, this, that, and the third? And I said, you have to know. You got to know. And now, to me, even just after one game, I know what Tua's going to be. Now we could look at, let's use both of these first-round picks on O-linemen. Now you're just adding to the pot of gumbo that already tastes good as hell. So, yes, Tua is going to lead this team this season to the playoffs. And Tua is going to be the face of that franchise, barring injury, for the next 10, 15 years.
They're doing this off of one game.
Because we already seen it. We saw it in college. It looked exactly the same. What looked different? Ball placement, accuracy, arm talent. He doesn't have the greatest arm, but you saw how lively it was. You know what I'm saying? He was on time, has escapability. That didn't change from Alabama. It didn't change. It's not going to change. The great players look the same regardless of the level of competition.
What do y'all think?
Hey, what you're saying is pretty much true, but that defense is what's going to lead to the playoffs. That defense
why?
looks really good. Also, well, I take that back. Brian Flores is what's going to lead to the playoffs. He got that team believing, and those guys are playing ball, man. You can see the confidence on the field in each and every player that goes out there on the field for that team. And that's what says it all. I was one of the ones that was, outwardly I said confidently that, probably a good thing that they put him in there to see what they got with him. But inside, I was like, man, I've been watching this Dolphins team, and I fell in love with watching them play. And I was like, taking Fitz out may hurt him. I was kind of afraid of that, but Tua has quelled those doubts that I had because he looked really good, and I just hope he can stay healthy for the rest of the season. My thing was I just wanted to make sure he was healed properly so we can get a true assessment of what he was.
But Shelton, seeing him make some of those cuts, I would say he's 100%. He look
I agree with you on that. Like I said, but looking at him that first week, it was probably more nerves than anything else.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's really all I can really attribute it to. And he did what he needed to do. But the defense stepped up again this week. I think I saw him return a fumble for a touchdown. Yeah, I think it was a fumble for a touchdown. Yeah. But they've been stepping up, man, and they've been playing ball. And that team just looks like it believed. And him sliding in there, he didn't drop the ball. He's doing what he's supposed to do. And to be the Kyler Murray team says a lot because Kyler played his butt off too.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't look bad at all. Those were two good teams going at it, which is funny to say when you got the Cardinals playing against the Dolphins. That would have never been a premier matchup before. So, like you said, I 100% agree with you, people. That was Russell Wilson 2.0 and 3.0 we saw it down the field. And I was appreciative watching that game. And we'll see what happens going forward. But I don't see how they, unless barring injury or some unforeseen circumstance, with the confidence they have, they are playoff bound at this point.
What you think, Karen?
I can't talk right now. I'm trying. I can't talk right now, but ask B.
B, were you impressed with Tua's second week?
Busy for 30.
Oh, I couldn't hear. Nick
It
sounded
just like went back down.
Yeah, like he went back down. He sounded muffled as hell. I couldn't tell if he was talking to Ken or just talking or whatever. Now, what did he ask you? What did you ask?
Were you impressed with Tua's second week?
Oh yeah, I think watching the highlights for that game, I think it's very promising seeing two young black quarterbacks. That's gonna be the future of this NFL. For
He ain't black.
You said what again, Ken?
He ain't black, B.
Oh yeah, Ken, you already know. So like when I saw them two, going really blow for blow, haymaker after haymaker, I was like, man, this is looking promising for the black QBs, for the QB position, pretty much. That was really dope to see. I'm definitely impressed with Tua. The way they just threw him out to the wolves this second week, and the way he's been handling it, I think that's really good. I don't think he has like the best offensive line, so for them to throw him out there with what he got, he's able to work with what he's doing, and he's put up a hell of a fight, man. I think that's good. I think that shows promising. If you're the Miami front office, you don't want to be stupid with this. Try to start, this is the time where you can start scouting and getting the right guys, trying to put the right pieces around this young talent, so that way he can flourish in the years to come. But sometimes people don't really give credit, or people don't really look at or bash front offices the way they should, because sometimes the talent be right there in front of your face, and they don't make the right moves, the proper draft moves, free agency moves to put these guys, make these quarterbacks succeed, man. So it's like if you don't do that, yeah, a lot of these guys is gonna rot, just like Matthew Stafford. Like he in Detroit, just rot. You know what I'm saying? Like his whole career is, it's been unfortunate because of our front office, man. So, but yeah, I think that's great for both of those two young black men to put on the show they did, and I hope we see that from decades to come.
Yeah, he looked good. A vast improvement from the week before. So, and that's what I wanted to see. Like, was that just a fluke? Was it nerves? Was it whatever? And he
was
looked
nerves,
good.
just like Sheldon said. It was definitely nerves.
Yeah, he looked comfortable. He looked relaxed. He looked like he was able to kind of go through his progressions and find the spots where he wanted to attack. So he looked a little bit more comfortable this week than he did last week. And I'm 100% with Shelton. Like, Flores. Brian Flores. We got one man struggling in San Diego. But this guy...
Los Angeles.
Yeah, Los Angeles. But this guy, he's doing the thing. 5-3 with a rookie quarterback.
2-0 with him starting.
2-0 with him starting. So defense looks great. So yeah, man, that man, and I think you pointed out how well they were playing towards the end of last year, Nick.
I wasn't here. That was me.
He went all Miami credit.
Because remember was it last year? Or was the year before we were talking about the Colts and culture and all of that, and the reason why you would go for it on fourth downs and winning the locker room and stuff like that. And then the next year we saw the Dolphins do that because the Dolphins were horrible. Mm-hmm. Remember Lamar had his coming out party where he threw like 4 or 5 touchdowns in that first half. And they blew out the Dolphins, and everybody was writing the Dolphins off. And everybody's like, oh, my God, they're going to go 0-16. Then they traded Minka. Then they traded Laramie. And everybody's like, oh, they're selling everything. And then about middle of the season, that Patriot game happened, and everybody's like, oh, shit, they actually have talent. Maybe they do know what the hell they're doing. And from that mid-season on, you just saw, okay, they don't have talent, but they believe. And they're playing above what they should be. So now they got an influx of talent. You know what I'm saying? They already believe in the culture. Now they got a quarterback that they can believe in. Because I'm pretty sure that Ryan Fitzpatrick had those guys galvanized. They believed in Ryan to get him as far as he could possibly get him. Everybody knows that there's a ceiling there. But now you bring in Tua. And Tua, the good thing about this is that it's not just a video game you turn off and on. You see this man. How early does he get to the practice facility? How long does he stay? How does he interact with everybody? What is his leadership, right? And they saw that, which is partly why they made the move. And we're seeing it pay dividends. Now the Dolphins not only have a front office that they can trust, not only do they have a defense that they can trust, not only do they have a culture that everybody's bought into, now you got your franchise. And not only do you have your franchise, you got 2 first-round picks this draft. And one of them is going to be the Texans pick, which is going to be a top 5 pick. Now you have the makings of taking over this, what are they, AFC East or South? East. Now you have the makings of creating a squad that has a run to win the division for the next 4 to 10 years, depending on how things play out.
We talked about one quarterback who was impressive. I would say after last night's game, there's another quarterback we should be impressed with, at least from his progression from last week.
Hold on. And before you go, can you kind of foreshadow as well? Week 10, Chargers, Dolphins. So we have one black head coach on the up and up since last year. We have one head coach that it looks like they made the right pick, but for some reason they can't win. And I think that this is going to be the balance of the future of both of these head coaches. Brian Flores wins in convincing fashion. I think Lynn is out.
Well, Lynn's already out, but we're going to get to that.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think he can save it?
Nah, he done.
And it's even more because he got his... we'll get to it.
Okay, let's get to it.
But Monday night's game.
Jets and Patriots.
I thought
I
thought you were going somewhere else.
I'm getting to the White Vic soon. Was Cam's game-winning drive impressive for y'all, or was it unimpressive because it was against the Jets?
I'll say this, because I actually caught the last, because I was editing Is the Mic Still On? And I was watching Walking Dead, The World Beyond, whatever it's called, and I was like, let me go see what's going on in this game. It's like 3 minutes left, because when I turned it on, it was like 2010. I was like, damn.
Yeah, he was...
Like, the Pats are losing to the Jets? So, turned away from it, started watching some more of The Walking Dead, the sorry-ass show. Then I was like, well, let me see if they managed to get back in the game. Because then I was like, 27-17? Like, what is going on with the Patriots? And then I saw Kyle say, Kyle is the one that made me turn it back on. Because he was like, Manny, how can you watch this shit? I'm paraphrasing. So I was like, man, let me go see what's going on. Then I saw he was down 27, whatever.
To 20.
Yeah, and he came back, tied the game, and then I was wondering what the Jets were gonna do because they had a lot of time in that game to win that game, and Wacko Flacco showed up, and Cam got the ball. Huh?
Your boy.
Yeah, man. But I won't say it was impressive. What I will say is that last throw was a smart throw and a great read by him and a good route ran by the receiver. Josh McDaniels did not believe in Cam, and they were kind of trying to bleed the clock out, but see if they could break something here and there, and James White did here and there, and then they got it to a point where, okay, maybe we can get in field goal range and he could take a shot. So they were kind of in the middle of the road on what they wanted to do with that game because they didn't want to risk it too much with Cam. And Cam came through. So it was a good win because you can't lose to the Jets. That's terrible. And I think for another week he kind of kept the critics at bay.
Not impressive.
Mm.
Not impressive. We're talking about a former MVP. And obviously I know he's coming back from injury and no OTAs and none of that. And Corona. But you shouldn't be in that position against this team when you're not a bottom feeder team. Another bottom feeder team, it's supposed to come down to the last drive against the damn Jets. But when you're a team that aspirationally should be in the wild card conversation, you're supposed to dispose of the Jets.
But why would you say that based on the roster?
I think
we know they have no receivers really.
So they're devoid of talent on the outside.
Most of their best players are on the defensive side, and most of those players have opted out this season because of COVID.
Either that or injury.
Off season. The same shit. I'm basically saying the same shit you said about Brady is even worse in
100%. But the difference there is the Belichick effect. Belichick has routinely, for 2 decades, taken people you don't even know who the hell they are and made them either into Pro Bowlers or to Super Bowl saviors. Like, who the hell was a Malcolm Butler, bro? You know what I'm saying? So, like, he routinely does that. So, because of that leeway, right, that credit that Belichick has built up over that time, I give him a little bit of credit. Like, yeah, I may not know who the hell's on his roster, but you have routinely shown me that truly doesn't matter. As long as you're there, the ownership is there, and you got at least a couple of guys, you're going to make some noise. But even with all of that being said, and I know that how much devoid of talent that they are, they're still better than the Jets. They're still a better organization than the Jets. They're still a better coach than the Jets. You shouldn't be in this position against the Jets. So that's why, to me, it's unimpressive. And also, outside of week 1, Cam has looked unimpressive. Right? Like, I know he's coming off an injury and all of that. But
he was impressive in that Seattle game.
Okay, fine. Two out of... How many games has he played? Like 5 games, 6 games?
I know he missed out of 2.
2. So going into week 2. So yeah, so he played about 5, 6 games. Like, okay, less than half of the games he's played, he's looked impressive. That doesn't bode well. And here's the thing, like, I understand having Russ sitting out damn near a year and a half, but he doesn't look. It's not just rust. Like, he don't look good. He don't. This is what I was fearful for Cam. I didn't know how serious it was, and I didn't know if he can make a full recovery, because where Cam set the bar as to where he was at his best, we're always going to compare him to that. We're always going to compare. All of the greatest ones, we compare to where they were at their greatest. And Cam is way below that now. So that's why it's unimpressive. And he hasn't done, like, I haven't even seen glimpses. Like, he looks extremely pedestrian.
It's that COVID. Cam looked tired.
His blood was burning?
Bro, Cam was, and I know it was like the fourth quarter, but even even when I turned on bro, he was sweating. He looked exhausted. He tired, man.
What you think, Shelton?
Man, I love Cam, man, but I don't know, man. Like you said, I think there's a lot of factors that contribute to where he is, including himself.
Yep.
Because he's in that number 2. Part of it's on him. A big part of it. But, that plus all the mitigating factors is going to lead you to be looking like Cam looks right now. One, like I said, he works probably harder than he ever has in his life at this point because he has something to prove. But he'll never be that player again that people was talking about, that MVP player. He'll never be that. Ever, ever, ever. Not even close. But what's left, he has to rely more on his mental aspect. But he doesn't have many receivers. Jacoby Myers played out of his mind in this last game. Just picked him up from a fantasy team. But he doesn't have, his running backs aren't doing the same stuff that they were doing before. Sonny Michel last year looked like he was about to be a star. Mm-hmm. And this year, he's non-existent. You know what I'm saying? James White was a good complimentary back. So with Burkhead, they really not doing much like they were. And you're right, they should have beat this Jets team worse than that. But this is the NFL. So you got to respect these guys. On any given Sunday, you can come out there and play ball. So regardless, a win is a win. So it was a good win. We just have to see where you go from here, man. Hopefully you can pick it up. N'Keal Harry gets back and do something for a change instead of being a bust. Because I watched him in college. N'Keal Harry was a beast at Arizona State. So I figured he'd get to the league and just blow up. But it just ain't happened yet. So hopefully it lights a fire under them and make them more clear a little bit. But they lost a lot, man. COVID took this team out. And Brady left. You ever saw, I don't know if it was a movie called Moving, but Richard Pryor in it. But anyway, when the man sold him his house, he left, took everything with him. You know what I'm saying? He left covered. That's kind of how Brady did Cam. He just left the cupboard bare, man. He left him with nothing. And now he got to start all over. But we'll see where Cam goes from here. But it don't look good, man. It don't. It really don't. But like I said, the good thing for him is he's on a team where everybody feels like it's not his fault.
I would disagree with that.
So that's kind of what's going to save him. He'll get another shot. I just don't know when.
How you think Cam look, B?
Yeah, I'm with Cam, man. I feel like he just has not been right since he's come back from, having COVID. Because the beginning of the season, I remember people were saying like, okay, this might be a promising season for Cam. We saw how hard he trained throughout this off season and how he was like, yeah, I got, I'm gonna be coming back. People counting me out, like that, all that stuff. So, and he started off the first few games, looking actually pretty good. But then, of course, we all know he caught COVID, and then, he was out for what? Was he out for 2 weeks or a week? He didn't play for 2 games, or was it one?
It was like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was like,
I can't remember. Yeah, and I'm kind of with Cam, man. Like, I think ever since he's been back, I don't know if it's just his timing is off, his flow is, because you remember him and Edelman had like a really good thing going on. Like, Edelman had like one of his career games before Cam Newton caught COVID, so it was kind of like, okay, this is looking up and up. It looks like, Belichick might still get to keep the train going, even with, with Cam under center, and they have, Patriots they might have a chance to win this division. But right now, man, it's like the fact that they were celebrating after beating the Jets. Sorry, Manny, no disrespect to your Jets, because who am I to talk? My shitty ass football team.
Disrespect them, B.
Huh?
No, disrespect them.
Oh, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't want to make it seem like, well, who are you talking about a football team when my football team is shit? But, yeah, it's just like, yeah, why are you celebrating after beating the Jets like that? Like, you should not be celebrating. If anything, you guys should be like, yo, we better than this. Why we let this 0-17 hang with us like this? Even though it's a division game. Division games are always really tougher sometimes. There's always a situation where you just throw out the record. But, something ain't right, man. I'm with you, Ken. Something is off with Cam since he's been back from Corona, man. I don't know what it is. Hopefully, I hope the brother get going. Maybe this win, sometimes the weirdest thing. We've seen the weirdest things happen. Sometimes a win like this, it might turn some things around. We might see them win their next 4 out of 5 or something like that. I don't know. So, hopefully, it's a step in the right direction. I just thought them celebrating like that over a win against the Jets, it wasn't like, it'd have been definitely understandable if it was against Pittsburgh, against the Steelers. Okay, yeah, celebrate. We just beat like one of the premier top teams in this league right now this season. But the Jets, nah, man.
I feel like y'all being too harsh on my nigga Cam. I feel like
I'm sorry.
You're being harsh on Cam, but not hard enough on Tom Brady. Okay?
Nah, because like you said, Tom Brady comes with a lot of expectations. Cam doesn't. Cam is, like you said, is coming off of a year and a half not playing in football. Cam, like you said, is when he barely got an opportunity to start this year for any football team. Cam this year also battled COVID and was out for 2 weeks on top of having no offseason and no repertoire with them shitty ass receivers anyway. So the fact that he was able not only to come back from down 10 in the fourth quarter on Monday Night Football, to me I was impressed. Because I thought, to me, if they would have got blown out by the Jets, Cam's done. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. But the fact that he showed moxie, and the fact that the coaching staff trusted him to make certain throws, because they had to throw. And usually what's the biggest thing against Cam? He got a strong arm, but he's inaccurate. He was accurate when they needed him to be, and he got him into the position to win. And as a QB, your main goal is to win football games. I don't care how you do it, with your legs, with your arm, you got to win football games. And in the division where he still got them in the hunt to be in the playoffs since they added an extra spot, I was impressed with it because I didn't expect him to come back at all. So I just think y'all being a little bit too harsh.
No, I mean, it's real. I'm just saying, like, them celebrating over beating a winless team. I mean,
I think they were celebrating each other more than them celebrating.
You can compliment the way they did it, but I mean,
like
the Jets.
Like Nick, you talk about.
Sorry, it's just the Jets. I'm not. Even if I am a Cam fan or I'm a Patriots fan, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, like yes, we did it. Like I said, if it was the Steelers or any other, the Seattle Seahawks, like one of those teams, I'd be like, oh shit, I think we might be the real deal, or I think this might be something that can turn it around and we can be on the up and up. Like I said, we never know. This win could. This boost the confidence playing against a team like the Jets. It could turn it. Hopefully.
But
and I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this makes Cam look good because I want Cam to succeed. I want him to do good.
And B, I feel you. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, Nick is over here talking about expectations, and the main expectation is if you are a middle of the road team, the Jets, the type of teams that the Jets are, you are expected to win that.
Did he win the game?
They won.
Okay.
But your initial question that started all of this was, were we impressed? And that's the reason why I said no, because I would have been impressed if they would have beat the Jets by 10 or more points. That's okay. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, I'm impressed by the fact that you did what you were supposed to do. Them winning on the last second field goal is not what you're supposed to do. That's not the expectation set for a team that should be playing in the playoffs. Not championship expectations, no, but you should be on that playoff fringe. And a team that is clearly the worst team in the league, you should not struggle the way that they struggled. You just shouldn't. That's what comes with that expectation. Cam is middle of the road quarterback now, right? Better than Sam Darnold, better than Joe Flacco. What happened and how it happened shouldn't have happened that way. Just shouldn't have. They should have been playing for.
But is that Cam or is that the defense?
It's a little bit of everything.
I was gonna say Cam can't play defense. That was more Joe Flacco playing above his level than Cam playing down from his level. That's what it was to me.
I
Joe
give you that.
Flacco had a heck of a game for 3.5 quarters. So you don't expect that from a Jets team because that's not what you're not normally gonna get. So that's not on Cam. Cam was 27-35 for 274 yards. He moved the ball down the field. He did what he needed to do, and he got the win. I would celebrate because, you know what I'm saying, it's a comeback victory on an NFL team.
But
regardless,
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true, Sean.
But the question is, was it impressive? Were you impressed by it?
I was impressed by Cam and the fact that he fought back. I was impressed by him. I wasn't impressed by the win from New England at all.
Okay.
But I was impressed by him. I just think that I think that shit took a lot of guts to fight back from all that he's been through throughout this time. The Panthers didn't let him go late. He's had so much stuff to contend with up until this point. And for him to show the perseverance to come back and fight, He scored 2 touchdowns rushing. He ain't throwing no touchdowns.
He scored 13 points
in the end zone.
in the fourth quarter.
Cam have my Madden stats. He had like 4 touchdowns and 15 interceptions, and I'm playing with a rookie.
He's getting it done on the ground with his legs, but the thing about it is he's making the plays that he needs to make to win the game. And some of them, like they were one play from beating the Saints. You know what I'm saying? That one play from beating the Saints. I mean, not the Saints. I'm sorry, the Seahawks. This team could easily,
be at 500. They can at least be at 500 right now.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So in saying that, I think Cam is doing everything he can do. Has he looked great? Heck no. Against Denver, he looked like trash, man. He was over at the Denver game. And like I said, I don't necessarily, I wasn't, as a Panthers fan, I was not mad to see him go. I'm happy with Teddy. But I still, I just feel bad for him.
He over here talking about, don't give out false love to Teddy like you give a fuck about him. Because you know that they about to draft the motherfucking, this upcoming draft, and you're going to be happy as hell with him too.
No, I love Teddy. I don't want Teddy to go.
Whatever.
I know.
You say that until
Teddy's doing what we need him to do.
Alright.
We need defensive help.
Well, we were talking about quarterback we could be impressed with. I know for damn sure this quarterback up next we weren't impressed with as far as his performance on Sunday, and that's the Seattle Seahawks going against the Bills. Are we now having to realize that Seattle's reliance on Russell Wilson is to their detriment?
You said that Seattle center again?
Are we now realizing that Seattle's reliance on Russell Wilson is to their detriment? And I say that, I'm going to start off because what did they do this season that I was the only one that I was criticizing the trade? Everybody thought it was lovely, but I was like, why the fuck are y'all giving up that much for Jamal Adams? Y'all got other things that y'all need to worry about that those picks could be used for than the safety. Y'all not one top-rated safety away from winning the Super Bowl. Y'all can win the Super Bowl, but mortgaging y'all future for this guy, it really isn't worth it. And I think you can see it because, like I mentioned, Jamal Adams ain't helped the Jets. And he damn sure ain't helping the Seahawks. Because they still have the worst defense in the league. And that's saying something because the Cowboys historically are playing with the worst defense in the league. 44 points to the Bills?
So you're saying they should have drafted more defense players?
I'm saying they should have left Jamal Adams back in New York. And they should have drafted this upcoming draft. They need to address the needs they need. However, the season. They need pass rushers because they can't keep on trading.
Some more defense players.
Huh?
Some more defense players.
Yeah. I'm saying they need. It's all on the defensive side because they got all the offensive weapons they can. This is the best offensive weapons they have.
When you made that argument before, you were arguing for offensive linemen, not defense players.
Yep.
Just want to remind you.
Nonetheless, it ain't safety. I would say nonetheless, it ain't safety. Whatever you want to call it.
You stupid bitch.
I said, first of all,
this you.
We're on the tape. We run the tape. I know I probably said more than this offensive lineman. Nonetheless,
that was what you was harping on. That's what you was harping on that. Because you said that defense that they would have been all right, but you still staying consistent where. You said Jamal Adams wasn't going to take him over the top.
Right.
I felt that Jamal Adams could help them. I didn't realize how bad their pass rush was. And it obviously they missed Jadeveon. Even though Jadeveon isn't a double-digit sack guy or nothing like that, but what he does do is he commands double teams and he's disruptive. Even though the numbers don't back it, when you watch the film, he's all like you have to know where he's at and you have to account for him. And they don't have anybody on that line or somebody that's going to try to get the quarterback that does that. Bobby Wagner, yeah, you can send him on blitzes and stuff like that, but that's not his job. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Adams, yeah, you can send him on blitzes, you can put him at the line of scrimmage, but it's not his job to continuously get to the quarterback. And they need somebody at an mid-grade to elite level that can do that consistently, that can open up other pass rushers, to get to the quarterback more easy. And I think that that's their biggest detriment now. When I watch him play, you see now Russell Wilson, he's pressing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He knows that I may not get the ball back. You know what I'm saying? The other offense may be able to chew this clock the whole time. And I think the first time I saw it was against the Cardinals a couple weeks ago. That's when I saw it. I was like, okay, some of these interceptions that Russell is making is uncharacteristic, but it happens. We're human, right? But then he don't have the defense to get him the ball back. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you don't have a great defense per se with a whole bunch of Hall of Famers and this, that, and the third, opportunistic defenses can get you the ball back. You know what I'm saying? So that way you have more opportunities. And they don't have that. And they look weaker than what they should be. Because that defense just cannot, number one, get off the field, or number one, create turnovers. And I think that's gonna hurt them big time come playoff time.
What are your thoughts on that game, Cam? Against black man versus white Vic.
Russ is still the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, he's not.
Who is?
Patty.
How you gonna say yeah?
Not far.
Who?
He only got one interception this whole season.
Okay,
One
congratulations.
interception.
He's on pace to do 2 interceptions with
He has
45 touchdowns.
a way better team around him.
But
Around
But
them
you-
team
but
wise,
you-
yes.
Hold up.
But you still gotta make the
Did
throws.
you see that man go in motion, the quarterback? How you go in motion and throw a touchdown pass? Come on, man.
What are you talking about?
Patrick.
Patty, when he went in motion.
Oh.
I mean, if you hadn't seen the play, look at it. Quarterback went in motion and caught the ball on the fly, spin around and threw a touchdown pass. That's the craziest thing I've seen.
Okay, that's athleticism and stuff like that. I'm talking about quarterback in the game.
Ken,
It's
hold on.
Russell.
Yeah.
No. When you look at
sir.
when you look at the numbers of the completion percentage when they blitz Pat Mahomes, he's like over 70%. Where Pat Mahomes is right now, there's nothing you can do that he can't beat with his arm.
Russ can do the same shit.
And Russ is pressing.
No.
And-
Because he doesn't have because of the defense. We just talked about that.
But even when Patrick Mahomes ain't had no defense, he was still putting up 50 touchdowns. He wasn't he was just at a different level. Patrick Mahomes has surpassed Russell Wilson, and that was big on Russell Wilson being the MVP.
He's putting up those touchdowns because of his athletic gifts. I'm talking about the game of quarterbacking.
That's what I'm talking about.
Y'all talking about his.
No, I'm talking about this.
Kid, we hit that man with the best shot we had of our lives.
Who was we?
You're talking about the Panthers.
Carolina. And this man, it wasn't a question about what he was going to do when he got the ball every time. Not one time did I question whether they were going to score. It was just a matter of us keeping up. I don't think they punted, but maybe one time, if that. So that dude is unreal, man. And it's him. It ain't like it's we can say, oh, his running game is great. He makes everybody around him better.
You talking to me?
No matter what the receivers are,
Panthers?
you got Hardeman, making Hardeman look like a hero. Whoever's out there at receiver is looking great, no matter who it is.
And
Russ would do the same thing on that team.
not at the same level.
Good on that team, but Russ ain't him.
Yeah, but not at the same level. He wouldn't be 25-1. Like he would look, Ken. I think in the MVP race right now, it's 3 guys. It's A-Rod, it's Russell, and it's Patrick. I'm gonna tell you the reason why the other 2 aren't the MVP. Aaron Rodgers cannot come back from any type of deficit. And as great as you are with as much arm talent and mobility and this, that, and the third, you should be able to come back. Like we've seen it here and there, but you, amongst all of the quarterbacks with a certain amount of attempts and all of that stuff, you have the worst percentage when you're trailing by 3 or more points. That's an indictment on the type of skill set, natural God-given ability that he has. You should be able to overcome deficits like that. So that's the reason. And in the 2 games that they lost, he looked bad. He looked like, okay, I'm not even interested. And that's not what a leader's supposed to do. Even though he's still in the MVP conversation, he's 3rd. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson lost the lead because of the 2 losses, because he looked extremely pedestrian in those losses. There has been no drop-off for Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes,
Not one game.
out of anybody in the league, nobody's playing at that level. He's playing at the highest level at that position, and it's not close.
It's
like
close.
no, he separated himself from Russell.
I think that it's. The only thing I disagree with people is I think it's a little closer than that. I think that I still think Pat is ahead at this point, but it's not that far. But 28-8 is what Russ is right now. 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes, I think is at 25-1.
Mm-hmm.
So he's.
His touchdown interception ratio is unbelievable.
But he has to do less than Russ though. We got to take that into consideration.
But at this point, no, Ken, because look, we talking about Ricardo Lockett.
The conversation is about the Seahawks defense. They gave up 44 to the Buffalo Bills. And you said it. He's pressing because he know the defense is playing for the other team.
Well, the Chiefs gave up 31 to the Panthers, which that ain't no big number, man.
The Chiefs don't have a shutdown defense. The Chiefs don't have a shutdown defense, Ken. You're acting like the Chiefs right now have the Steelers defense.
That's better than.
I give you that.
That's not saying much. That's not saying much against Seattle.
Yeah, it's only slightly. You know what the difference is in the defense?
Where do they rank?
Chris Jones is the difference in their defense. That's if you look at personnel, it's relatively the same. And I can even say Seattle got better corners than what the Chiefs do. The difference is Chris Jones. But those defenses are relatively similar.
Okay, if you say so.
You know what? Let me look at the numbers.
And that's true. And like I said, you got weapons on both sides of the ball. On both teams. I think that Russ is up there. What Russ is doing is definitely commendable. But Patrick Mahomes is playing out of his mind. To be honest, man, it ain't. Patty Mahomes is up there at this point. He got there quick to the top, and it's just hard to top that. I don't see how Russ or anybody else can catch that kid.
Right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are number 7th overall as far as defensive rankings. The Seahawks are not even rated top 20.
Somebody owe me an apology. Somebody owe me an apology.
They said that with the number 7 with the caveat. They gave up over 430 yards to the Carolina Panthers, bro.
I mean,
so that means
they're not a great defense.
They're not a great defense.
The numbers say otherwise. Look, the rankings said it.
The rankings are right now just giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Oh,
I'm just saying for me.
Are these like power rankings or are these like?
These are defensive power rankings.
See, but Ken, power rankings are different because it's not in the order of least amount of yards given up. This is very subjective. Power rankings is a subjective list. So let's try to find.
Well, I didn't pull it up. He did.
No, I feel you, but I'm just saying I can eyeball and know that they're not the number 7 defense in the league. I know that for a fact.
It shocked me a little bit too.
Exactly.
Well, there's another list that has them 13th and Seattle 24th.
Look. Kansas City's defense
Top 15
is a middle of the road defense between 18 and 14. That's where they are. And the difference between that Kansas City defense and the damn Seattle defense is literally Chris Jones. Chris Jones is a disruptor on that line, but he's literally the only one. Like we said, who the hell does Seattle have? They don't have nobody that's even close to that. But Bobby's job is not to get to the quarterback, play in, play out. Chris Jones, they paid him $100-some million to go fuck shit up. Good. They running, they throwing, they doing. Just mess it up. You didn't even got to get the sacks. Look at Aaron Donald, right? Aaron Donald, Jadeveon Clowney, some of these guys, right? They don't get the numbers, but they're disruptive. And that disruption allows your secondary to play better. It allows different aspects of it allows your scheme to look more flawless, even though it has flaws. Chris Jones does that for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Seahawks don't have that. Last year, when the Seahawks did have Jadeveon, they looked a lot better than what they do right now. They do. They did. That's if you look at the defense, isn't it relatively the same defense minus Jadeveon? To me, that's the difference in this year from last year.
But what about?
All right, wait, hold. because I just looked it up on ESPN. Let me go back to it. Make sure I'm looking at this correctly. So NFL total team defensive stats. This is ranked by yards per game, but in 8 games. So you're right. Kansas City is middle of the pack. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Seattle's dead fucking last. Don't you think that would account for a couple of interceptions? There's a.
But see,
Go ahead,
we have
Shel.
to go apples for apples at this point because neither one of them are playing defense. We can only talk about what they do on offense. We can really only talk about
their offensive team.
Seattle playing defense. I mean, the Chiefs playing defense. Seattle's not.
Seattle. I mean, the Chiefs give up points though.
I mean,
they give up a lot of
like
points.
I said, you talk about what we need to stick to in this argument though is the way they're moving the ball and the way they control the offense. And when you put that on the table, ain't no man out there great. Which team would you hate to go against us both right now? Defensively. I mean, you're a defensive coordinator. Who are you afraid of, Patrick or Russell? Forget the defense. Let's talk about you as a defensive coordinator. Which one scares you most?
Both.
Which one scares you
No,
more?
you gotta pick one.
Andy Reid.
Yeah, I know you was trying to come up with another answer. The main question though, as far as like Seattle, we all, some of us predicted that, including myself, picked Russell to be MVP. That's probably not gonna happen. But we all expected Seattle to go far this year in the playoffs. This is their year because of how Russell's been playing, and also just because it seems like it's wide open for the NFC this year. But my question to start off was like, because you see how much Seattle, if Russell doesn't play well, they're not winning shit. They barely winning games now. How does this translate to the playoffs?
But I think, I think the way you frame that is unfair because all of the best teams are majorly reliant upon their quarterback. If you look at all of the Super Bowl contenders, if that quarterback don't play good, they're not winning jack. It's a quarterback league. You got to have one of the best or a super nasty defense, right? But if your quarterback does not play, if Patrick Mahomes has the worst game of his life, they not winning no Super Bowl. The defense ain't gonna get it back for you. The run game is decent, but it ain't not. You're not losing sleep over no run game from Kansas City. If Pat Mahomes has the worst game of his life, they ain't winning jack. A la Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson has a bad game in the Super Bowl, they're not winning. The defense ain't gonna get the ball back. Defense ain't gonna make enough turnovers. You look at all of the top teams right now, right? Baltimore. We seen what it looks like when Lamar doesn't play well. That team is very pedestrian. Even if they have 300 yards rushing, he don't throw the ball well or he has multiple turnovers, they ain't winning the game. And that goes down for everybody. So the way you frame the question,
but
you're trying to hand it on a silver platter. But it's like if we apply it to everybody, it applies to everybody.
Well, I'll go and say the Saints can. They've shown that they can win games without their quarterback.
But they're not winning no Super Bowl without Drew Brees playing a good game.
I mean,
or even a decent game.
I'm just talking about Seattle relies on Russell Wilson to play amazing every single week. Like he was like, this is the first time he's played. Like he hasn't thrown for more than 3 or 4 touchdowns since the start of the season. Like Patty can't even say that, or Patrick. You know what I'm saying? Because Mama don't want him to call him Patty. But Patrick can't even say that. He's won games with 2 touchdowns. You know, and I'm just saying like that reliance on production off of just one position. Like you said, the Bills only punted twice that whole game. And this is Josh Allen we're talking about.
But he's had a really good season too.
This is his best season.
Of course.
But it's Josh Allen. We were questioning Josh Allen when he was facing Patty.
But you got to put a little bit more respect on his name now though. He's elevated a level from last year.
Ken, you agree with that?
He's playing better, yeah. But 44 points against the Seahawks, Josh Allen should be putting up 40 points.
No, I agree.
Against anybody.
I agree.
So
yeah, he only had no touchdowns, 154 yards against New England. So the week before that. So in saying that, he had no touchdowns, 1 interception. He did nothing the week before. So that was just ridiculous. He played out of his mind Sunday.
Oh, he ain't play out of his mind. He just played against Seattle.
Well, with that being said, is Josh Allen a franchise QB now? Or is that how we're viewing him?
I think he's close. I think he's
close.
getting there.
He took
yeah.
a major step from last year. Like, bro, like in his first 2 seasons, I think he threw like almost 20-some interceptions. And now he's still in the single digits in interceptions. So the reason why, and I 100% agree with Ken, is franchise quarterbacks don't put the game in jeopardy. And for the majority of the season, he hasn't done that. And on top of that, he's made the plays, he's made the throws, he's made the reads, he's made the runs. He's had that moxie. He looks like a franchise. He has the size, he has the athletic ability. He got the he looks the part now. He's finally playing the part, but now the eyeballs tell you, oh shit, he looked like the second coming to Ben Roethlisberger with some real wheels on his feet. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say he's franchised yet, but like I said, he's taking that step. He's taking a big step. So now next year, right? Like next year is okay. Does he improve from this? If he improves from this, then 100% he's a franchise QB. But this year, I can't put the stamp on him yet.
Here's what I'll say. I'll say that he's definitely. When I think about the Buffalo Bills, I think Josh Allen,
100.
and I think that they found their guy that they're close to making a decision on whether he's their future, their franchise quarterback. In reverse of that, when I think of the Browns, for instance, I think, they don't know. When I think of the Jets,
they know.
Well, okay,
they're not gonna say it publicly, just like the Bears didn't, but they know.
But when I think of the Jets, I think, they got to get a quarterback. I don't think that when I think about Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're close to get. I think he's there, but I'm with FIFA. I don't think he's the guy just yet. But he's improving. We haven't seen that in other players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Shelton?
Yeah, he looks good, man. I'm completely impressed with him. That's a great coaching staff he got there, man, because they did a great job with him, and they put him in positions to succeed. To bring in names like they did, that was huge.
Mm-hmm.
And they're putting him in the position to make good decisions and good reads. And that's what we talk about when you talk about developing a quarterback. They developed him, and you're seeing the growth in the process take place. And that's really all you can ask. You know what I'm saying? Sean McDermott and the boys doing their thing, man. And like I was never high on Josh Allen. I never ever was. But watching him Sunday, I'm like, man, who is this dude? You know what I'm saying? But he's been doing it all year. So you got to give him his credit. But I don't know how much better he's gonna be. Put it that way. He may be at his ceiling at this point. But if that's the case, I think that's good enough to be, a serviceable guy in the league. He gonna never be on that top tier level, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know I'm hard on quarterback. Mm-hmm. But once again, I have to admit, I didn't expect him to be where he is now. I really thought he would follow along the path of some of those other quarterbacks that were, he came from, where did he come from? Wyoming or something like that?
I think so.
Yeah, Wyoming.
One of those game down type quarterbacks. Come out of nowhere that got, he got the Bills.
Shut out, bro. He ain't like that.
I'm sorry, Nick. But that's what I was thinking when I saw him at first. I was like, here we go again. They drafted him off what he's supposed to look like. He looks like a quarterback. But he just doesn't have the talent to back it up. But like I said, these guys post him up, so he looks good, man. He looks good. And that team is going to scare some people. I know that. Because I was not expecting this.
Speaking of coaching staffs and coaching in general, let's talk about your boy Anthony Lynn. I think he's done. That loss to the Raiders, that was it. Divisional game. Yes, and I say it's over just for the fact of they have a rookie QB. If he won at least 3 of those games that they lost where it was close, then maybe he can have a leg to stand on. But with the rookie QB,
right,
everybody's like, the coach, like you mentioned, when you have you were talking about defenses with QB, but head coach and QB have to be that right underneath that as far as great parents for it to make sense to go through some struggles or whatever.
Oh no, 100%. But that's the point I was making is that if you look at all of the, especially more recently, all of the outside of Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes, but everybody else that has won is typically a defensive head coach with a great defense and a good quarterback. But that quarterback and head coach are on the same page, right? And I think that what Herbert has done is expedited the expectation and the process of what rookie quarterbacks should be, because he's putting up the numbers. He's putting up enough numbers and enough points to win games. But as an organization moving on from a long-term QB in Phillip Rivers, you have to kind of relearn how to win, because Phillip Rivers took a lot of that pressure off. The reason why Phillip Rivers is eventually going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback is because of his guts and his moxie. And he, obviously when he was younger, the last 3 to 4 years, not the same Phillip Rivers, but when he was in his prime playing against Peyton Manning and Tom Brady every year, you saw that he can win you games, right? Now Anthony Lynn comes in, post, Phillip Rivers and all of that. You kind of have to relearn how this culture is going to win. And they haven't done that yet. But now you have a guy playing quarterback that puts you in a position to win. But they're losing these close games because they haven't put in the infrastructure all the way. And I think that's the difference, that what you see with the Dolphins versus what you see with the Chargers. The only difference to me is the culture piece. Is that I'm not saying that the Chargers are not bought in. I think they know that they have a good coach. They know that they got a good team. They got all of that. But how do we win? Like, they haven't figured that out. And that's the reason why the Dolphins winning or competing middle of the season last year and starting to beat teams they had no business beating at the end of the season carries over. Even with no offseason, even with no OTA, with none of that, right? Because now they believe. And then they went and got a free agent cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Now they added to their strength. The Chargers, even though, again, very talented, the psyche of winning isn't ingrained yet. They don't know how. You gotta lose these close games to then know how to beat and win in those close games. And it's just part of the process. Unfortunately, I just don't think Anthony Lynn is gonna be part of the process moving forward.
People, the only thing I would say about that is you do have to lose some of those close games, but these games that they're losing, 100% is on the coach, man. I love Anthony Lynn, and I always wish the best for black head coaches, of course, but it's just not looking good, man. They're a front running team, and they play great first half. In almost every game this season, they played a great first half. Came out second half and did okay, but that fourth quarter, he just dropped the ball every time. He just drops the ball. He changes the play calling. They get more conservative. They take the ball out of the quarterback's hands and they just give the game away. And it's happened so many times, man, over and over. Sunday, man, when I thought they had won it on that last play, and they went back and showed the replay, I was just like, here we go again. When they said that they were going to take a look at it, I just knew he had dropped it. I didn't even have to see the replay. Because that's just the luck of that team, man. In the play call, I'm like, why throw a fade on the last play of the game? You down there to goal line, get that man a shot to move around and make something happen. Put it in your quarterback's hands and give him a chance to win or lose that game, and not throw a fade to a tight end that came from Stetson and they played. He only got 2 receptions in the league. But, who does that? Who does that? This kid had 2 receptions in his career. And you're going to throw it to him on the last play of the game, on a fade in the end zone, going one-on-one with a corner. It was just dumb to me. I'm like, that's coaching. You know what I'm saying? And it's just frustrating at this point to watch that team, because I'm pulling for him. I ain't gonna lie, I'm pulling for the Chargers, man. I want Anthony Lynn, I want Brian Flores, these guys to do well. But it's rough at this point. It's rough. And he shouldn't be losing these games. I'm sorry.
I mean, everybody know I'm pro brother. I always feel like I gotta say that just to remind the people. We got Brian Flores, Anthony Lynn. I'm sorry, he's about to be Anthony lynched. They about to hang his ass out to dry.
Can't be right. He's just down at the crib, boy.
he be waiting every Tuesday night to bring him out, boy. I swear.
They about to string him up, man.
He said there's gonna be some strange fruit in Los Angeles. Hell no.
It's over, man. It's over. There's too much noise around the losses, and when that starts happening, now that's the public perception, and that brings pressure. And you factor in the GM and the owners and stuff like that. They be thinking the same thing. It's over.
The Chargers barely have a fan base, especially in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So when the fan base comes at the coach, a mediocre fan base at that, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
When you can't win with a rookie QB, the first person that's going to dip is the head coach. Because they got to find someone to get this guy up, especially if he's playing well. Because now they think you limited his potential.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why I see Anthony Lynn out of that head coaching job. Not to say that I don't think this is really like showcasing his full potential. Again, because he has a lot of injuries that we haven't talked about. He lost one of his best DBs, Derwin James, earlier this season. Obviously with COVID, no offseason training, the health medical staff fucked up his original QB. So it's like he's been dealing with a lot. But like Shelton's point, those games were easily winnable, and he just didn't execute. So at the end of the day, it's all about winning games. So if he's not doing that, then they got to bring somebody else in. One of the last teams I wanted to talk about was Pittsburgh in that Dallas game. They scared a lot of people thinking that Dallas was going to get their first win against an undefeated team, the only undefeated team in the NFL, but the Pittsburgh Steelers pulled it out. But did Dallas expose Pittsburgh?
I don't think so. I think we've seen this before. I've seen it. I haven't liked how their offensive looked. I know they've won games, and I know we've questioned. I know we posed the question on this show whether or not they were a championship contender, and I was in disagreement that they were, and this is why. They've managed to win these close games, but they got a lot to work out. Big Ben doesn't look good. They have receiving talent, but they can't run the ball. And the defense, a.k.a. Minka Fitzpatrick, is, winning a lot of games. So,
hey, don't be disrespectful to Cameron Hayward, even though he got hurt previous game. He's a big reason why that defense is legit.
Oh, yeah. Cam's that dude, but didn't Minka tip that ball to win that game?
Minka is their MVP.
All right.
But I'm just saying Cameron Hayward is very close second.
They have a good defense.
An amazing defense.
Yeah, so if that offense comes around to match that defense, which they will need the offense, then yeah, they can win. But right now with the way they look, hey, you'll take all the games you can win. You'll get. Once again, he's gonna finish without having a losing record as a head coach, which would be great. The rest of the schedule looks easy, but I think that's part of the problem because you're not really gonna face tough competition. Tennessee, who else they beat? The Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson, he's going backwards. So,
come on.
He is.
He is not.
Okay, fine, whatever. But and this was a classic. I think Hugh said it in the chat.
Trap
this was
game.
easy trap game. Everybody saw how bad the Cowboys were/are. So, which is why they managed to come back from the deficit that they had. So it was an ugly game, but they won it, and they have managed to avoid public week-long embarrassment. Because y'all know if you would have lost to the Cowboys, go ahead, B.
Yeah, obviously, and plus you got to factor in, they just came off. Didn't they just play like a division rival? Didn't they play the Ravens the week before?
Yeah.
Didn't they play them last week? Yes.
Yep.
So, you got to factor that in too. Coming off of a tough, gritty, grimy game against the Baltimore Ravens. You're gonna go into next week a little, banged up and still kind of mentally maybe tired from that previous tough matchup. And then sometimes we've seen this not only just in football, but in a lot of other sports where sometimes you kind of play down to your competition. Even though, yes, they're still professionals at the end of the day. But when you kind of think like, okay, yeah, Dallas, we just play Ravens, we good, we should be able to get this win. You know, Dallas, everybody been walking over Dallas this season, so they banged up. You know, they in their third string quarterback and all that stuff. Well, I think Andy Dalton played. I think this past week, but yeah, I just think it was just a factoring of them coming off that tough, gritty, grimy win against the Ravens, the division, right? You know how Baltimore and Steelers games will always be. Plus, we need to put more respect on Tomlin's name. Throughout this whole season, even though I haven't been watching an NFL season like that, every time Steelers win, when is the media gonna start giving Tomlin some props? Like, if I bet you, I guarantee you, if Steelers was 2-6, oh, Tomlin this, Tomlin that, Tomlin that. Mm-hmm. They are doing a great job, and not a peep from the media saying is Tomlin doing a great job over there, you know, coaching or doing what it. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear no praise of the coach right now.
Yeah, it depends on who you listening to. Cause if you listening to Fox and ESPN, no. But if you watch the Pat McAfee show, he was giving out midway through the season awards and everything, and he said, "Coach of the year, Mike Tomlin, only undefeated."
And I said that, and then I think someone in our group me chat saying someone should get coach of the year, and I said, not if Tomlin goes 14-2, 15-1.
Well, yeah, I was saying Brian Flores. Like,
he's the only other one.
If he can get I was saying if he gets Miami to the playoffs, I'm impressed by that.
Right. I'm just saying, but if Tomlin go like 15-1,
yeah, if he even go,
I mean that's
to me if he gets
14-2, that's coach of the year right there.
If he gets over 12 games still undefeated, that's coach of the year.
That's coach of the year.
Hands down.
Yeah. Regardless at this point, he deserves coach of the year because once again, they shouldn't. Based off everybody, they should be undefeated right now. Every game they played out in their minds to get where they are. So it's impressive to be doing what they're doing. Period. And much kudos to them. I mean, they're doing without a running back. You know what I'm saying? Connor hadn't done anything. You know, that's my guy, but he ain't done nothing. And, you know, they're getting it done with this, a different wide receiver stepping up every week. You think Juju, but Juju is, you know, the least of my concerns on defense. Those other guys are plodding around making plays, man. Give that man credit.
Well, I was saying
that thing. A win in the league is a win. Now, Garrett Gilbert does get a shout out because Garrett Gilbert played some good football, and you should have gotten that last game. I don't know why they didn't put him in the game against who they played. Was it Philly? Yeah, it was Philly that Dallas played, I think. But he should have played that week. So, I don't know what's going on with Dallas on that. But
the real chalk game for the Steelers.
Was a good game.
The real chalk game for the Steelers is coming up this week against the Bengals. Joe Burrow will take away that undefeated record. I'm sorry. I'm going to let y'all know that right now.
You know why? Big Ben ain't playing.
Because being on the COVID list. That's what I was going to say. You know what? You're absolutely right. This is a trap game. Because Ben ain't going to practice all week.
Ben, with Ben or not, I don't give a damn yet. Uncle Ben back there. We still getting the dub.
Cincinnati's coming off a bye. I was just going to say it, man. It could be a trap game. It really could. Emotions were high last week. And I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh lost this week.
Well, that leads us to our Week 10 picks. I think only me and Ken actually picked the right game. I think we all, outside of that, we all picked the wrong teams because there was a lot of upsets last weekend.
Come on, man. Y'all were 1-3, we were 0-4. You can say it like y'all picked all of them right.
Did y'all get a win?
That was saying, did you get anything? Are you still the lead dog? No, you're not. So sit back.
Yes, we're in a three-way tie, me, you, and Ken.
That's how you gonna call it. There's only 4 of us. There's 4 or 5 of us in this whole shit. Week 10 picks. We got some good games. I'm sticking with the 4-game format just for the fact that there's a lot of good games. I could have picked even more. But we'll start with they gonna keep on continuing this, Ken, the battle of the black QBs. Baltimore at New England. I feel like this is like the same guy.
I got Ravens.
You got the Ravens, B?
I'm going to take the Ravens, too. Can't take it too long.
Ravens.
Y'all looking at me?
Oh, just Sheldon with Ravens.
Shit. I'm I'm going to go Ravens. I want to go New England though, but I'm gonna go.
I do too, cause I think Bill's gonna whip up some stuff. I think he gonna whip up something for Lamar Jackson, bro. He slowed Patty. I think he definitely can.
You know what? I'm switching my pick. I'm gonna go New England.
Oh, don't listen to me.
No, I'm not listening. I'm not listening to you because
You
I'm.
gonna let him persuade you like that?
No. It's not that. It's because of how. It's because of how.
It's locked in. It's locked in.
Yeah, man. Look at that. Man.
Nah, I'm going New England. I'm going New England just for the fact that they held Buffalo. That was a winning. Like even with Cam's turnovers.
Man, you can't rewrite your verse, bro.
I'm going New England.
That you laid down, bro.
I'm going New England. I'm going. It ain't over until the stream man. That's when it's over. Until the stream man. That's when I'm going New England.
You carry Nick, man.
Hey, I'm a re nigga. All right? I'm going New England. Next game. Next game. Buffalo at Arizona.
That's a very interesting
Damn,
matchup.
that is a very interesting matchup.
You said Buffalo at Arizona?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
I agree.
I don't. I'm going with Whitey. I'm going with Sam Newton.
I'm going with white chocolate. I'm going with Buffalo.
I'm gonna go Cardinals.
You going Cardinals?
Okay. Who you got, Sheldon?
I'm going Cardinals.
All
I
right.
can quit doing that though. I'll be picking man based on who I want to win, not who.
Yeah. Another the battle of the rookie QBs. LA Chargers at Miami.
Oh, I'm taking Tua.
Yeah, I'm taking Miami.
I'm going with Herbert. We gonna cut the rope. We're gonna cut the rope on that tree. We're
Cut him down.
gonna cut him down this week.
Black. The other black man gonna save him.
Yeah.
You gonna throw him a bone?
Yep.
No, you did not just say that. Cut the rope in that tree. Jesus Christ, Ken.
That's gonna be the first clip that they
For real.
What you got, Sheldon?
Give me the Chargers as well.
B, did you pick?
Yeah, I picked
Dolphins.
Yeah.
See, Shelton, this is where you get in trouble. You want the Chargers to win.
I know, man. I know. But I like Miami, too. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for Miami. I'm just trying to keep my man in his job, man. So I'm going to be pulling for him.
I did that last week, Sheldon. I'm switching up. So I'm going to go with Miami.
Miami?
Yeah, I'm going Miami. The last game is a divisional game, and it actually could be very important how the seeding goes. Seattle at LA Rams.
Why you put that one on there? God.
Seattle.
I'm going Rams.
Rams?
Going Rams. I think all that motion with no pass rush and that defense not being in sync. I think what's his name? I want to say Lane Kiffin. I know it's not Lane Kiffin. What's his name?
Sean McVay.
Sean McVay. I think he's gonna toy with Pete Carroll. Golly, I wanted to say Sean Payton.
Go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead and give me Seattle, man. And the only reason I say that is I think Russell sneaking up the joint, looking like they looked last week. I think that Pete Carroll get that team back right. I don't think they like being embarrassed like that.
See, I don't want to pick with Shelton. Because he don't be thinking, right? He be thinking with his heart.
I know, man. I ain't lying. I'm telling you, I do it this year. I can't do it for some reason this year.
I'm going Russ. I'm sticking by it. The best QB in the NFL is gonna come through.
That's not a bad thing. I just looked up a stat. Russell Wilson is 32-8 in his NFL career after a loss.
A loss, right? Yeah.
That's the best record of any. That's the best record of any quarterback since the NFL merger. So I'm gonna go with Dangerous, and it's a divisional game, so he should know that team well than anybody. And I think last week was just more of we're not going to see a bad game like that from Russ again, at least for a while. That was his worst game since 2016 when he had 5 turnovers. So I'm going to go with Seattle. These picks is coming down to the wire now. This is what's going to separate the boys from the men. So, I want to let y'all know, we didn't touch on basketball. We do know the draft is next week. We got something special for y'all. We are going to actually cover the draft live next Wednesday. I don't know. We'll figure out. We'll post about the time and all that. But we'll cover the draft live. That'll be all basketball.
7 p.m. on ESPN.
That'll be all basketball talk. We're going to talk about who should go where. And, of course, we're going to get to a conversation I know B's going to like as far as the new comments from Isaiah Thomas about MJ. So, we're going to definitely talk about that.
Oh, okay.
We got a guest coming in, too, man. I'm going to get the date together. But we got a guest coming.
It's a big name, too. Yeah, it ain't the homies. It's like, it's
no.
Hey, since we've gotten Shelton, our talent acquisition manager, on board, you know what I'm saying? Like, we done gave y'all some big names. This is going to be another one.
We got a janky promoter.
That's what he is, the talent. I like that, people.
AKA the janky promoter.
I like that.
I don't know how he get him, but he get him.
Hey,
I'm
man,
telling you, man, watch. He gonna hit us with somebody big, man. We gonna be like, what the fuck? What you mean?
You know what? This one to me is big like that, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be more. I got a feeling you gonna hit us with a name. We gonna be like, you got Deion Sanders. What the hell?
If he get Deion, hell, shit.
I'm telling you.
But B, we gotta respect all our guests. They all were pretty big. All right, big personalities.
Yeah. I know. I'm just saying, but like, man, this shit about to it's getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us this week, man. I hope you guys like the new setup. This was the first rollout, so we still got some kinks and some more wrinkles to add to it to make it even better. But we're ramping up the production quality, man, of the show overall. So yeah, please share the show, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next week for the basketball.
Yes, Tigolo. I'm definitely watching that Crawford and Brook fight. Yes.
I can't wait to watch that Crawford and Brook fight.
You already know who B got, so that don't even.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us this week. We'll catch you.